Testing, testing, check, check. Hey, all right, back in the shack. Thought we were gonna get little Jewel arranged to get here. Today's Sunday. Over the weekend, if you're watching our socials, everything changed. The ranch was broken into. Everything's cool. There was some drama. Not a big deal. No matter what rumors might be spreading on the comments, Facebook, Instagram, whatever, we were home, right? Not because we were posting videos of us on vacation, that type of thing. Little Jewel is on the trailer at my friend's house. We are officially moved out of the ranch. So Little Jewel's coming here soon. I'm going to get the engine out of this Zephyr, do a couple things to the firewall, and probably finish the assembly in the home garage, because Little Jewel is about 19 feet long. And that's about how much room we got all the way to that table back there. So it's going to be a full house. Sunday afternoon, a little change of plans. Thought we'd be bringing you a video from the desert, but here we are trying to get the Zephyr out the door again and bring Little Jewel in here. Maybe a week. No time limit on my friend's storage, so I'm going to do some good work. Here we go. Yeah, all right. Seems redundant, covering the same territory over and over again, but that's how you actually build cars. It's not a straight through process. Built this radiator and the ductwork, etc. I got a fan, a little 15-inch fan. I thought it was going to be too big, but it's cool. That's working fine. I'm waiting on the little extension to mount that. So I'm going to take the engine out, made it to the transmission, take the radiator out, and then work on the interior compartment of the engine. It may go to the house in between. We'll find out as things progress. But first, I'm going to disassemble all this stuff. All right, just a little recap of what we did. You probably saw those videos. If you haven't seen them, feel free. How we built this sheet metal here. There is going to be a radiator fan shroud on this side. See, there's plenty of room for the fan. So we'll build some kind of cap in a ring shape around the fan so that holds on. Right now, we're just going to pull the engine. We'll get all these things out the way. Oops. Come on. Really, this is why you build things 3 or 4 times, because when you're painted and you're finished, you don't want to be scraping all this stuff together. Can you dig it? Now, every car with any real credentials is built a number of times. And Jamie was so kind to put that note out there. But the original Space Junkie, one of my more finished projects, when I say more, I mean detailed, thing was assembled, disassembled so many times. 4 different iterations while I owned it. Then Jeremy Jones and we rebuilt the whole thing. Well, I did the fabrication on some things, and he just took it to the next level. So that's how you end up with a nice finished car. And we're not looking for that level of detail with the Zephyr. We want a nice cruiser. So you can see everything has a purpose, and it's thought out for easy disassembly. All right. Ooh, shoes off. It's exciting. Yeah, let's set up the engine hoist. Yank the engine. And this is another thing in getting to know the car, right? We never installed the engine with the bumper on. All of a sudden, the engine hoist doesn't want to reach the plate that lifts it. Always a surprise. Always surprises. I think we'll still get it out. Yeah, dropping the engine and transmission in with this radiator support is going to be a challenge. But yeah, it's a good sign that will lift right out. Nothing's hitting the oil filter or the steering. That'll be hell if I unbolted the engine, huh? No wonder it won't lift. There's still a lot to do to the suspension on this. None of the alignment issues have even been concerned. The second shock mount isn't finished. I mean, there's a ton to do on this. But put it together, take it apart. Yeah, so that's cool. We'll just have to join the engine and transmission in the car later. I'm gonna bring a dolly over here, and then we can store this. What I'm getting at is there's some welding that has to get done lastly before we get all this finalized. All right, so with that engine out, here's what we're down to. See that cross member, how hacked apart that is? That was just a loose mock-up to fit this transmission in. So I'm gonna take care of that. I'm gonna get in there with a grinder, lift the car up, and just check out all the welding. And that's really what I'm doing all through here. Making sure all this stuff is in place. That's the shock mount. We need one here. And right now, everything looks decent. Yeah, let's get the car up and address that. Okay, here we go. This is the nitty gritty. There's no glory in this work. It's underneath. It's really just for my own personal satisfaction. This just looked a little hacked. I'm gonna run the disc down, clean it up, cap it, and then all this has to get welded. And just one word of caution, this is super dangerous. The ability for this disc to break right now is really high. A lot of people say, you know, the master control over the cutting disc. I joke, ninja, that type of thing, but they can really get away from anybody at any time. And it did just bind up a little bit right there. I like the cordless grinder because it has a clutch in it. It stops if it binds up. Yeah, that cut looks decent. Just gonna detail this one a little bit. All right, grab a piece of steel. See what we can do to cap this. Oh, I got a piece of steel right here. Sweet. All right, I'm gonna cut this and be right back. So this stuff in here, this hoop over the top was never finished. That's the thing when you have these mechanical parts in place. A lot of times you miss angles on certain welds. You gotta go back. Alright, that's cool. You have to get underneath to finish that weld. Right now, looking in here, everything looks a-okay. Let's get a piece of plate on this one now. Alright, so this side is pretty hot. Let's see how this is looking. Another scrap of steel. Yeah, that's cool. So, yeah, just like that. I'm gonna go vertical right through here. It's gonna go there. Bang. That. And then behind, I'm gonna do that. So it's interesting. We mentioned it time and again that if this was the TV show, you wouldn't see any of this. You just come back like one nice, happy afternoon. Engine would be in. We'd be driving down the road. Yep. Meanwhile, I would have been laying there on the floor in the shop in the desert, pinched for time, frustrated as all heck. So thank you all for making this happen once again, because this is how it goes. This is how I want to work. And I'm having a good time. Hope you are too. So yeah, I'm going to weld this here and then hit it with the big old hammer. Yeah. The old steel is kind of rusty here, so I'm fiddling with it to get it to weld. Now it's going. Yeah, I like that. I'm going to turn the heat down a little bit. And I think I'm going to try to grab in there first. You're not going to cut that with the grinder right now. Let me weld it first, and I'll do another trim. Yeah, cool. So that's attached. I definitely got to trim this here more. Yeah, like that. Yeah. Also a couple loose ends up in here. I guess I'm gonna wrap this. Alright, well, it's the necessities. This is what we're accomplishing. It's all welded now. That's capped. I'll get cleaned up with the disc. But let me see if I can get in position here. That's got to get filled. Same process. This one's got to get filled. Same process. So there's really no glory. That's the title. No glory in this adventure. Yeah, cool. So that's where we're at. Trying to get this thing on the move. We got parts everywhere. Engine's out. Sorry for a not so thoroughly involved project today, but our weekend was a little bit weird, as I mentioned, pulling everything out of the ranch. Next up, little filler, sanding, priming. That's what's happening. That's what I said. No glory under the car. Just what's got to get done. So thanks for spending some time. We'll see you tomorrow with some cooler stuff. Thank you.